Teresa. So if you get started, yeah.
Okay. Well, hello, good evening. Welcome to Wordsmiths Online and this online commemoration of Toastmasters International. Today, we're celebrating 100 years of Toastmasters, and we're doing it on the birthday of Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. Not his 100th birthday, just happy birthday, Dr. Smedley, and congratulations on giving us 100 years of Toastmastering. Today's event has a full and varied agenda. I'm Philip Khan-Pani, President-elect of the hosting club, Wordsmiths Online. Together with my wife, Evelyn Khan-Pani, we shall be your hosts.
Let me quickly outline what you can expect. In a moment, District 71 Director Elizabeth Jordan will propose a toast, followed by a short video featuring Ralph Smedley himself. We're going to have a poem by our poet-in-residence, Mike Keenan, followed by a brief address by past International Director Teresa Dukes on Dr. Smedley's vision and legacy. Then it's your turn. We have lots of poems and songs from our members. Philip and I will lead and fill in any gaps, but if you have a brief poem or song to offer, please message me privately in the chat and give me the title. Remember, keep each item brief, no longer than 2 minutes each. There will be table topics led by the irrepressible Anita Howard, and finally, Club Growth Director Mairead Dillon will lead us in the close.
Okay, now it's time to propose a toast to Toastmasters International, and to do that, we have one of the very best district directors we have ever had in District 71. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming D71 Director Elizabeth Jordan, DTM.
Thank you, Philip. Flattery will get you everywhere. You know, keep it going. Fellow Toastmasters, this is a very special evening. We are celebrating the birthday of our founder, Ralph Smedley. Here was a man with a vision of empowerment for people from all walks of life. As it started with men, it got better. It started for everyone to improve our public speaking and leadership. And just think, 100 years after he started his first clubs, here we are in the UK, in Ireland, and whoever else is joining us, celebrating the birthday. I would like us to raise our glass in gratitude, raise our glass in celebration, in a toast to Dr. Smedley, Dr. Smedley. Thank you. And what we'll do now is we'll invite our Zoom master to share a very small clip so we can hear Dr. Smedley speaking in his own voice. How exciting is that? So Zoom master David, we are waiting to see the clip. Thank you.
Toastmasters grew out of an effort to meet the needs of a group of men in Bloomington, Illinois, more than half a century ago. In those days, I was a YMCA secretary. Many of the men with whom I was associated in that work needed help in talking and in meeting other people. They had ideas, but they did not know how to express them. However, they did not want a formal class in public speaking, and when I suggested a club in which they could learn to talk by talking, they welcomed the idea. I believed in the sound pedagogical principles of learning by doing and improving through helpful suggestions, or constructive criticism, as I preferred to call it. Businessmen, professional men, laboring men, men of a variety of occupations came into the club, and they were surprised by the results which they achieved through following our simple process of practice and criticism. We were strictly an educational group. We avoided the atmosphere of the classroom, and we learned in moments of enjoyment. As men in other communities heard of our plan, they desired the same training for themselves. It is gratifying as I look back over our development through the years to know that the growth has been the result of the desire of men to improve themselves in speech and in communication with other people. Yes, many thousands of men throughout the free world have profited by Toastmasters training and have been led into more productive living, more satisfactory living by this means. I hope to see many thousands more given the advantage of this training in the years to come.
Isn't it wonderful to hear his voice? Over to you.
Next on the agenda is a poem by Mike Keenan, a poem called History and Her Story. What a delightful pun. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our poet in residence, Mike Keenan.
Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit of a journey getting onto the meeting, but there might be a small bit of background noise. I'm here in the local hotel, going to great lengths to. I certainly going to write a poem about this one. But the poem I'd like that I wrote just celebrates. Just get the video going there. It just celebrates 100 years of Toastmasters, and I suppose it puts down in a sort of microcosm what Toastmasters was about. Toastmasters take a bow. Many words between then and now. To announce, profess, to say, to tell. No less water in the well. Each language has its thrill. It's in each word to self-fulfill. In each, its own full meaning bring. To be silent, to write, to talk, to sing. When words and Toastmasters met, the long-haul destiny indelibly set. Each one enriching the other. Each the keeper of his brother. Custodian of a treasure, with skills to make and to measure. The kindest word that can be made is the unkind word unsaid. We look forward to such mastering again, as was witnessed by women and men. A bird flies through history, carrying the Toastmasters story. Here's to those gone before us, who held the door open for us. The torch is passed from hand to hand. All of 100 years, spun and spanned. Thank you.
Well done, Mike, and thank you once again for cleverly capturing the last 100 years in verse. And now it's time for our keynote speaker, Teresa Dukes. She's an international world-class speaker, best-selling author, all kinds of things. Long-standing member of Toastmasters International. She served from 2015 to 2017 on the board of directors. She's trained and coached more than 30,000 business leaders to uncover their potential and step into their power. Her clients say her technique is attentive and diligent with practical tips and invaluable insights, co-author of World-Class Speaking in Action and Women on Success. Her new book, If You Want to Lead, You Have to Speak, will be launched at the end of February. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to past International Director, Teresa Dukes, DTN.
Thank you so much for that great introduction. And you know, I love being able to talk about Dr. Ralph C. Smedley and his legacy and his vision, because I can remember when I joined this organization back in 1999, I was looking for something to help me actually make some big changes in my life. And when I look back at what Dr. Ralph C. Smedley said, which was his vision, I'm going to read it to you. It's a quote that he said. He said, "The power to communicate is one of man's greatest endowments. I believe that the improvement of men's ability to communicate his ideas is a means of improving life in all its phases, and that the progress of a civilization depends on this improvement." And I can guarantee you that this organization and his vision has absolutely improved my life exponentially. And I know, and I'm hearing and I'm seeing that this has happened to so many other people around this table. And I imagine that if I asked each and every one of you for something that you joined this organization for, I would get immense number of replies. Me, I came to find my voice so that I could make big changes. I also came so I could get a divorce, because in order to live the life I wanted to live, I needed to actually have a clean slate. And this organization helped me do that. You know, Dr. Ralph Smedley did a lot of things for us. He actually started this organization, or started thinking about it, in 1905. And he joined the YMCA in Illinois, and he made the decision at that point in time that the men he was serving were not able to articulate their ideas. They couldn't get interviews. They couldn't go through interviews and help people understand what their skill sets were. So he took it upon himself to educate those young men. And he tried for many years to get the club started. And it didn't happen until the 22nd of October, 1924. And that's when the birth of Toastmasters became real. We had the first real club that started on that date. And I had about two dozen men sat around those tables talking. We have come a long way since those days, because as of 1973, they opened the doors to women. And probably the biggest progressive move they could have made was to open it to women, even though we know we have a lot of Irish women, possibly even on this call, that were already members of this organization without actually officially being recognized as a woman. But you know, he did so many things to help build up a foundation for us to carry forward. He developed the Educational Advisory Committee. He organized the first manuals that we ever wrote. And I don't know if anybody has ever been involved in an entrepreneurship. When you start your own business, there are so many things that you have to do. And that's what Dr. Ralph Smedley did. He did everything from taking the garbage out to actually writing the manuals and printing them himself. So we have a lot to be thankful for from him. I wanted to quote one of our executive directors, and Ted Corcoran will remember this man. His name is Terrence McCain. He was the executive director back in 1975 through 2001. And his quote about Ralph Smedley really kind of resonated with me. His quote is, "Today, thanks to the patience and perseverance of Ralph Smedley and his idea, people throughout the world have the chance to pursue their personal and professional goals, even after other avenues of education may be closed." And I resonate with that, because I know that when I was coming up through the ranks in the corporate world, I had a lot of doors shut for me. And the one thing that I knew I would be able to do and be able to go and pursue was actually joining this organization. And without this idea, I would never have been able to come in here. And I know there are many people out there that could probably say the same thing. I remember one of the first members that joined Speakeasy at Martlesham, which is one of the clubs I started. He was a young Indian chap. He had come over from India to work at British Telecommunications. He could speak very poor English, and he wanted to join the club in order to improve his education, improve his English, so he could get a better job, a better promotion within the company. And we turned him away because he didn't have all the money to begin with all in one go. And I talked to one of our past presidents, or one of our past district directors, David Thompson. And I said, David, this is wrong. We should be allowing this man to come in, because if anybody needs this organization, it is him. And we changed our mind, and we opened up a different way of him to be able to pay. And for me, that was opening up a little door of opportunity for him. Now, I want to give talk about a couple of quotes that Dr. Ralph Smedley has, and that we all know, and they resonated with me for different reasons. The first one is, whilst most of us may have entered Toastmasters to learn to make speeches, that benefit itself is but the beginning of all the good which may come to us, and the good which we may do for mankind. How many of you out there have been doing things not just for yourself, but for others? And I can see lots of hands can go up at this particular point in time. We didn't join this just to help us. We didn't join this organization just to get that little promotion. I could have done that and walked away years ago, but I knew that there was something more I could bring and I could share with people around me. The second quote that I really love, and this one really kind of suits everybody. Ours is the only organization I know dedicated to the individual. We work together to bring out the best in each of us, and then we apply these skills to help others. We could join Rotary, we could join the Round Table, we could join any sort of organization, but I think he really hit the nail on the head here, because we are dedicated to our members and ensuring that they get what they need in order to make this their place and their chance to actually progress and grow through our world. The last one, he actually said, understanding comes through communication, and through communication, we find the way to peace. And with everything that's going on in our world, I know Dr. Ralph Smedley would totally believe that if we all could bring our world leaders, our political parties, our people from all walks of the world around a table and communicate effectively what we wanted, we could one day have world peace. And I've heard it many times said that Toastmasters will one day help world peace become a reality. So you never know, you never know. I wanna cover off one more thing, because when Ralph Smedley died in 1965, he had written something in one of the last magazines, and he left the organization with 4 principles. And I think these principles are relevant to us today, probably even more than they were in 1965 when he passed. His first principle was, 1, let's keep it simple. Because he said our basic training program presents the fundamental principles of public speaking. And these are the eternal verities of effective oral communication. And he is known for saying, keep it simple, boys, keep it simple. His second principle was, you know what? Toastmasters is a do-it-yourself activity. There isn't an instruction manual for everything that we do or say in our clubs, and nor should there be any such manuals. Don't be afraid to use your imagination and your initiative. The third principle he left us with was Toastmasters is based on the belief in the individual and his ability to improve himself by developing to the fullest those God-given talents given to him. We work together. This is the quote. We work together to bring the best out of each other and apply these skills to help others. His last principle was, let us never forget that we learn in moments of enjoyment. Fellowship is important in Toastmasters, and our members stay in their clubs because they like each other and they like learning together. His last little statement in that piece that he wrote in that magazine in 1965 was, "If you observe these principles, I won't need to prepare a new message. Toastmasters will serve men and women for years to come." We are sitting today at 270,000 plus members in 148 clubs in 148 countries with 14,000 plus clubs. Let us remember those words of Dr. Ralph Smedley. Observe these principles and we won't need to prepare a new message. We will serve men and women for years to come. Thank you.
Evelyn, where are you?
I think you're on mute, I think.
I am mute, apologies. Thank you, Teresa. That was both informative and inspirational. It's always a pleasure to have you with us in District 71. I think the last time was for the launch of Ted Corcoran's book. If I'm not mistaken, do stay for as long as you can. We will have a medley of songs and poems. First out of the block will be my co-host Philip Campani with his version of The Fields of Athenry. Do sing along with him, but please stay muted. And if you have a song or a poem to offer, please send me a direct message in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, with The Fields of Athenry, here's Philip Campani.
While lonely it was more, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole rebellious scorn, so the young might see him fall. Now prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By lonely harbour wall, she watched the last star falling. As the Britain ship sailed out against the sky, now she lives and hopes and prays for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Can I see myself again? In ancient times, or nearly so, a speaking club was born. The year was 1924, or so I've been informed. But if you're doubtful of the day, ask Ted, the oracle. In 1935, it crossed the wide Atlantic Sea. The sunny Southport it did go to set their speakers free. But when did it to Ireland come? Ask Ted, the oracle. In 1957, so the Dublin Club did come. Then the Irish and the UK clubs formed District 71. But wasn't that in 72? Ask Ted, the oracle. The Irish speaking talent reigned in contests of renown, and so in 1985 they won the Golden Crown, the Global Crown. What other honours did they win? Ask Ted, the oracle. At last in 1995, a UK speaker soared. Silver in the championship, the balance was restored. How was the friendly rivalry? Ask Ted, the oracle. The coming of the Pathways scheme was testing for a time, and then there were the challenges of meetings held online. Was District 71 dismayed? Ask Ted, the oracle. And what in District 71 marks our Toastmastering? Our spirit and our sing-alongs have put our stamp on things. So what in prospect for us now? Ask Ted, the oracle.
Now, I'll do another song, but if anybody else has a song or a poem, please, either put your hand up or give us the information, the title of your contribution in the chat.
I have to look at the chat.
Yeah. So, chat over here. Over here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a song called You Raise Me Up. When I'm down and oh, my soul so weary, when trouble comes and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. And when I'm lost and no one here to guide me, when all seems dark and I have lost my way, I look to you to come and give me guidance. And then you turn my darkest night to day. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up more than I can be. Sing it with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to all that I can be. Any contribution from you lot? Poem?
Yes,
got-
yes.
Teresa, well
Yeah.
done. Go.
Okay then,
What are you going to do?
I've got a poem here
Okay.
I wrote recently.
What's it called?
It's books versus screens.
Okay.
I want to find information. Oh, where should I look? Should I ask Google or look in a book? A book does not have a screen or any social media, but if you can find an awful lot from a good old encyclopedia. Flicking through the pages of the novel by my bed is different from a movie as the pictures are in my head. Many people use computers to find a meal to cook, but I love nothing better than to delve into my favourite recipe book. So yes, I use computers and sometimes feel I'm hooked, but at the end of a busy day I can't beat curling up with my favourite book.
Lisa, and the next poem is called The Well-Kept Secret. Push the screen forward. Yeah. I met a man upon the street who said, I wish you'd hear me. For when I'm standing up to speak, you never seem to see me. The problem is, the man declared, he had some things to utter. His eyes were blazing, nostrils flared. His heart was all aflutter. It seems that when he tries to speak in meetings with companions, they think of him as rather meek, ignoring his opinions. He gnashed his teeth, he slapped his thighs, he grunted in frustration. But all he managed was a sigh on every such occasion. I'm usually okay, he said, when chatting day or night, but something seizes up my head when standing in the spotlight. He said I'd never make a speech. That makes me feel I'm weak. So do you know someone who'll teach me how to stand and speak? I smiled and said, I think I know of some place called Toastmasters. It is the very place to go to gain those skills much faster. It was, I said, a secret place where anyone can speak and no one risks the loss of face or feels they are a freak. And so it was, he joined the clan at his local Toasties club. He said it was much better than going to the pub.
Any other contributions from the assembled company? Shall I sing you another song? Yes?
Oh, there you go.
You must try to control your enthusiasm.
Now, song will be
Okay.
lovely. But you've got to wake up the audience. Oh, we've got so many people here. You've got to sort of rouse them. But a song would be lovely, Philip. Was it? And have you got a poem ready?
Yes or no? What?
I think she's on mute. Anne's on mute. She's trying to...
The only poem that I have here is the poem by William Wordsworth, Daffodils.
Oh, we'd love to
because,
hear it. It's the
yeah,
daffodil
thank you.
season. Thank you.
We actually have about 1,000 daffodils ready to come out if I can. So We planted about 1,500 there several years ago, and they're absolutely delightful. Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending time along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
All right, unless there's another contribution from the floor, I'll do you another song, but this will be the last one. And appropriately, it's called The Parting Glass. Of all the money that I spent it in good company. And all the harm that I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whatever befall. Then gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you. All the comrades that e'er I've had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. And since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should fall, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whatever befall. Then gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you. Good night and joy be with you. Right, okay, now that brings this section to an end. And next we have the most popular part of a Toastmasters meeting, table topics. And to lead it for the next 15 minutes, let's welcome Anita Howard.
Thank you, Madam District Director, Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and very welcome guests. You're all very welcome to our topic session on what I'm sure will be what is indeed a wonderful night of celebration. and we will keep to the usual structure of 2.5 minutes per topic and 1 minute for add-ons. And without further ado, I will proceed with the first topic. Anyone who would like to contribute is welcome to raise the hand. I am noticing a few hands already, and so we move now to our first topic, which is for fishing for a birthday evening. What was the most memorable birthday gift you ever received, and why? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Gavin, if he is there.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. Very quickly racking my brains. I'm in my mid-80s, so I've had a fair few birthdays. I think probably a bicycle, which had silver mud guards. Unfortunately, I didn't look after it very well. Not quite sure why it demised, but I'm sure certainly the mud guards, etc., got a bit rusty. But I definitely found that most acceptable and made me a lot more mobile than I am currently. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much, Gavin. Have we any add-ons to that contribution? And so Toastmaster Teresa, please. Teresa Rhodes.
Well, the most valuable present that I ever got was for Christmas, and it was a jar of jam, and it was given by my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law wasn't very well off at the time. She was a bit struggling with different things in her life, so she made some jam, and she bought the fruit, and she made the jam, and she said, "This jam is given with love." And that jar of jam was my most precious present that I've ever had. And the other one was a little notebook and pencil that my great aunt gave me, because I've always been taught, we've been taught in our family, that it's the little things that mean a lot. So if you go and appreciate a jar of jam, a little notebook and pencil, it's worth many, many more pounds than a big, big present, because it's made with love.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Teresa. And we will now move to the next topic. It is of course a birthday, and the birthday of one very exceptional man. And we do live in a time of designer cakes. So I would like to ask, what kind of birthday cake would you design for Dr. Smedley, and why? And are there any takers for that topic? So can we go then to Toastmaster Sue Burnett?
Well, thank you, Anita. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Maybe we're all Toastmasters tonight, but if not, then maybe we'll be invited to join. So if I was to make a cake for Dr. Ralph Smedley, where would I begin? I would begin with the end in mind, because if I knew what the outcome was, and I could see all of the wonderful people enjoying this birthday cake, it would be a beautiful cake indeed. And wrapped up in this cake would be all of the delicious treats you could imagine to make it the most wonderful cake in this world. It wouldn't be a cake of this world. It would be a cake out of this world, because we have so many wonderful ingredients. We have sugar and spices and all things that are nice. Because if we wrap them all up, give it a big stir with our spoon, mix it all up and open up the oven, pop it in, and in a short while, maybe 20 minutes or so, maybe a bit more. It's a long while since I've baked a cake, so I've got no idea how long it's going to take to bake. But we will fast forward to now, this beautiful cake made with love, all of the beautiful things that you can imagine are in a cake. And you will be served a piece of it right now. I can see your mouths are watering. Back to you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Sue. Have we any add-ons for that topic? Toastmaster, Madam District Director, please.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. I would take the cake that PRM Sue has baked and I would decorate it. And I would decorate it with ribbons, because one of the joys of Toastmasters is the number of beautiful ribbons we can get. Very, very simple and very simple messages, but which make you feel extraordinarily special. I remembered my first ribbon I got as, when I did my icebreaker. When I won my first contest, I was so excited. I've still got the ribbons. So I would decorate that cake with beautiful ribbons of all the messages. Distinguish, presence distinguish, select distinguish ribbons to underscore what he's taught us. Communicate and celebrate. Madam Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Madam District Director. And I believe now we have one more add-on from Toastmaster Gavin Falk.
Hello again. Thank you, Madam Topics Master. The only other Smedleys that I ever came across was Smedley's tinned peas. Okay, I'm now living in Ireland. We don't seem to have them here, at least not very often. And I'm just thinking, therefore, I'd have to make a cake which was green, and I'd have to decorate it with peas, maybe not mushed peas. And for those of you who have a sweet tooth, maybe I should have some sweet peas around the cake. All right, that's my contribution. And just before I go, I'm taking a quick chance, having thought a bit longer about birthdays, and I was asked the question earlier. I'm actually a twin, although my twin brother passed away a couple of years ago. And many of you mightn't know this. He was born 10 minutes before me. And under English and Irish law, he's older than me. And he was very bossy, far brighter, could read 3 times quicker than me. At any rate, what did I eventually find? That under French law, I'm older than him. So I quickly explain, because some of you mightn't know this. The French are a very logical race. Now, this goes back to the 15th or 16th century, and is mentioned in one of Dumas' novels, the fellow who wrote The Three Musketeers. They didn't realize that you could move around in the womb in those days. And they took the view, first in, last out, if I can put that succinctly. So, in other words, like pouring your glass of Guinness, the bit in the bottom of the glass is there longer than what you then add to the top. And therefore, age isn't the moment of appearance. And provided you're not identical twins when the egg splits in 2, they said I was older than my brother. And that at long last gave me something to get my own back, so to speak. So some of you might find that at least a little bit quirky or interesting. And of course, French was the diplomatic language, so I always thought I was definitely on the right side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gavin. I now move to the next topic, and the question now is, what would your preferred birthday party venue be and why? And as I'm seeing some hands up, I would like to ask our timer, Matty Behan, to respond to the topic.
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master. I come from the background of living in the country on a farm. I now live in almost 30 years in the town. I am 69. For my 70th birthday, I would like to have a party back on my farm in the country, in the little field over my house, where I would invite all my neighbours and my friends who I still keep in contact with. And they would come and we'd have some cows, some sheep, some pigs, and a pony, like we used to have years ago. I remember before my father got a car. So that's where that would be my 70th birthday party. And I think it would be unique. And it would be something different. It would bring back memories. It would bring back memories to the people out there of me. Not to say they have forgotten me, because anything that's going on out in the country, they still invite me out. So in conclusion, Madam Topics Master, my 70th birthday party will be on the land where I used to live in the country. And I'm sure the people who bought it from me will be happy to let me have one more day on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matty. Now I have seen hands up, and I believe we may have an add-on from Toastmaster Saurabh Sethi.
Hello, thank you for the topic. Regarding birthday party celebration, I would prefer at home, because home is a great place. We always heard like home sweet home. Home is like heaven. Whenever you go out, be it in school, college, or any institute, or even to tourist place, ultimately you will reach up to home by going out. Those are like intermediate steps. So home is like permanent place for relaxation, doing other tasks. By calling some known ones to the home, we feel like greater bond. At home, we have lot of like some sufficient resource and facility, so it's convenient to do at home celebration. Likewise, you go to hotel party, it's challenging. We need some time to understand that geography. So at home, we know all about that location, so it's easier and convenient. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. And I'd like now to thank you all for your wonderful, inventive, and passionate contributions to the topics. It has been a true celebration, and I now hand back control of the meeting to our Toastmasters, Philip and Evelyn Canpani. Thank you.
Well, that was brilliant, Anita. Thank you, and thank you all for attending Wordsmith Online in this commemoration of 100 years of Toastmastering. We are the hosting club, and we are an advanced club, a new advanced club for Toastmasters who favor the good use of the English language. If anyone's interested in joining us, contact Martin O'Sullivan, who I see is here. He's our membership chappie. And in any case, make a note to attend our next meeting, which will be on the 7th of March, Thursday, 7th of March. Okay, it's going to be a very, very good meeting. We have a guest speaker, and we have a contest speech by someone you know, me. And now, to take us to the close, let me hand you back to our District 71 Director, Elizabeth Jordan.
Thank you very much. Philip. Well, what can I say? I was looking forward to tonight and it has exceeded expectations. It was past International Director Teresa who very eloquently reminded us about the life and contribution of Dr. Smedley. But my favorite quote of his, and I think it's many of our favorite quotes, is we learn best in moments of enjoyment. And I think tonight we can all say they'd enjoyed it. But as we enjoy the evening, behind the scenes is a tremendous amount of work. So I want to say a huge thank you to Philip and Evelyn for hosting the event. Huge thank you. Round of applause to everyone. Huge thank you, as I said, to our past International Director, Teresa, for gracing us with her presence and doing such a wonderful presentation. To our Zoom Masters, we have both district Zoom Masters with us tonight, Sarinka Janga and David. Where's David? Is he here? David Clinton. Thank you so much. We have our district timer, Matty Behan, who's with us. And the biggest thanks go to you, the guest members who've come along to enjoy tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, as I said, as much as I have. Take away from it, and you heard Dr. Smedley in his own words. The organization is all about fellowship, friendship, and best in moments of enjoyment. So tomorrow is the Sunday, we have Lark Doley, who is the past international president. She will be our guest speaker. So she'll be bringing some golden moments to District 71. So please do join her. We have our PRM Supernet, who I know has been blitzing social media this week with all the wonderful things that are taking place. So I thank you all and wish you a fantastic evening. I see 2 hands up. And I'm happy to take your questions. I'm not sure, Teresa, did you have a question or did you forget to take your hands down? Did you have a question?
No. I've got a final poem, like memories at least, that might wrap up.
Okay, I will give you the stage in a minute. And Mr. Falk, Toastmaster Gavin, did you want to make a comment?
Yes, please. Thank you. Just before we all go, I'm just going to say that I'm actually a member of Kinsale Toastmasters, right down in the south of Ireland, well known for its food. So if ever any of you who are not in Ireland are coming here, we'd be most welcome for you to get in touch with Kinsale Toastmasters. I'm also a member of Bandon Toastmasters, which is maybe 10, 12 miles away from Kinsale. We both meet, both clubs, on a Wednesday, so I alternate. And if you just get in touch with the local hotel, the Munster Arms in Bandon, or the Trident in Kinsale, and they'll tell you where to go. So that's my first thing. My second comment, you mentioned Smedley, Dr. Smedley said we enjoy meetings, moments of enjoyment, we're more likely to come back. So I'm going to ask a question just to get people's grey cells keep going a little bit. What is the largest silent killer in the Pacific region? Now, a hint, it's not sharks. Sharks kill on average 5 people per year in the Pacific region. This kills 30 times the number of people in the Pacific region. So it kills on average 150 people per year. So open to anybody. What does anybody think is the silent killer?
PRM Sue.
Pardon me?
Sue has got an answer, I think, to the question.
Right.
Because we need to wrap up. Yeah. Okay, Sue, do you want to answer the question? You're on mute.
I'll let you know if you need to wrap up very quickly.
No, Sue, do you want to answer the question? Thank you.
I was wondering if it was some kind of disease that's transmitted by, something like hepatitis, but I could be wrong.
You are wrong, I'm afraid. Thank you.
But do you want to tell us very quickly, Toastmaster Falk? We have now done curiosity. Yeah.
It's actually coconuts. Coconuts falling on people's heads
Oh, okay.
Isn't that nuts?
It is, but a topic for another day. Thank you so much. I certainly didn't know that, and I don't think anyone did. Okay, Teresa, you want to read say yourself with a poem? Do you want to read a
Yes,
poem?
called
Yes,
Memories.
Okay.
Memories, and we'll all have memories from today. The pictures in the album might make you shed some tears as you look back with memory on all those happy years. Sweet memories will please you as you see those photographs. The days that you remember will give you many laughs. But never will those days return, so this is what I'll say. Be happy, love, forevermore, remembering today. Look forward to tomorrow. Don't look back, my friend, for life goes on from day to day until the very end.
Thank you very much, Teresa. And welcome, Catherine. I'm afraid you've come at the end. We're about to we've said our goodbyes.
I apologize. Okay.
Not at all, not at all. But good that you could at least make it and sense a bit of the atmosphere. Finbar, you've been very quiet. You had your hand up. Were you going to sing a song or tell a story or?
No, Elizabeth, thank you. No, I just had a poem there in mind, but what I'll do is I put it in the chat there, maybe for the next night. Maybe if you do a follow-up poetry night, maybe or something, I might. Yes.
We'll discuss with Anita, and maybe when you can come to open night and present it. We'd love to see you. And again, Teresa, and I don't want to overstate the point. Our president of the Wordsmith Club, Philip, said it. It's a new club. It's all about literature, love of words, love of poetry and expression. If you're interested, Martin is your man. Martin up with the red jumper, waving his hand. If you're interested, please see Martin, and we will come along to the next meeting. I'll make sure I invite all of you because I've got your emails now. Okay, I have to run to another meeting, so I'm going to run very quickly. And yes, if I go, I think I'm going to close the line. If you want to, actually, no, Sarinka, can I make you? Are you host? If people want to stay and talk, please feel free to. But I've got to run to join another call.
Thanks for coming, Elizabeth, and thank you for your contribution as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all
yes,
coming. And I hope to see you at our next meeting on the 7th of March.
Yeah, loved it. Beautiful evening. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
When is the next open